You want to know why some people walk into a room and instantly feel important. You want to know why some personalities cannot think small, cannot stay invisible, cannot relax until they build something that outlives them. When I look at Magha, I do not see ordinary ambition. I see legacy hunger. I see the psychology of the throne. If you have strong Magha energy, you are not here to drift through life unnoticed. You are built to feel the weight of significance. You may not always understand it when you are young. It can show up as pride, pressure, image consciousness, family expectations, competitiveness, or a deep private feeling that your life must become something big. That feeling is not random. It is the core pulse of this nakshatra. Magha is the part of you that asks, who am I becoming? What name am I carrying? What legacy am I building? Why should anybody respect me? That is why this energy naturally connects with powerful personality patterns like Enneagram 8, 1 and 3, and with commanding MBTI styles like ENTJ, ESTJ, and even the more duty-bound side of ISTJ. Let me break that down simply. When Magha acts like Enneagram 8, you become the challenger. You hate being controlled. You step up fast. You protect your people. You push back when you feel disrespected. You do not want to be managed by weak energy. You would rather carry pressure than look powerless. This can make you magnetic. It can also make you intimidating. If you do not mature, strength turns into domination. When Magha acts like Enneagram 1, you become the keeper of standards. You care about dignity, correctness, discipline, and doing things the proper way. You want people to carry themselves with class. You may feel embarrassed by chaos, laziness, or lack of self-respect. This gives you integrity and structure. But if you overdo it, you become rigid, superior, and impossible to please. When Magha acts like Enneagram 3, you become the achiever. You want results, recognition, visibility, and a life that proves your worth. You know how to perform. You know how to rise. You know how to make an impression. This can make you inspiring and highly successful. But if your self-worth gets tied to applause, then every achievement still feels strangely empty. Now look at the MBTI side. Magha often resembles ENTJ because it thinks in terms of leadership, power, structure, strategy, and impact. You do not just want to participate. You want to shape the direction. You want influence. You want scale. You want to leave your mark. It also resembles ESTJ because Magha understands hierarchy, responsibility, organization, and visible authority. This is the part of you that can run systems, direct people, uphold standards, and take charge when others hesitate. And sometimes Magha resembles ISTJ, especially when its power becomes quieter and more duty-based. In that form, you may not be loud, but you still carry deep seriousness about responsibility, lineage, family expectation, and doing what must be done with dignity. So what is the real lesson here? Simple. Magha wants respect. But the immature version demands it. The mature version earns it. That difference changes everything. If Magha sits in your first house, people feel your presence before they know your story. You may look proud, self-contained, and hard to ignore. You carry natural authority. But you also have to watch ego sensitivity. Not every disagreement is disrespect. If Magha sits in your second house, pride moves into speech, values, family, and wealth. You may speak with weight. You may care deeply about family reputation and financial stature. Your words can inspire, but they can also cut when you speak from superiority. If Magha lands in the third house, your power comes through communication, courage, media, speaking, content creation, sales, or persuasion. This is strong for podcasting, public messaging, and influence. But you must stop talking just to dominate the room. If it moves into the fourth house, your heart becomes tied to ancestry, roots, home, and emotional dignity. Family honor matters. Inner security may depend on feeling that your background means something. Your work is to build emotional warmth, not just emotional pride. In the fifth house, Magha becomes creative royalty. This is performance, charisma, leadership in self-expression, and the desire to be remembered. Strong for creators, entertainers, teachers, coaches, and political personalities. But if attention becomes addiction, the gift gets distorted. In the sixth house, your leadership gets tested through struggle, work, competition, and conflict. You may thrive in high pressure environments and become the person who takes control in chaos. But your ego can attract unnecessary battles. In the seventh house, relationships become mirrors of status, dignity, and power. You may attract strong, impressive, proud partners, but love becomes hard when both people are secretly fighting for the throne. In the eighth house, Magha goes deep. This can show ancestral karma, inheritance themes, hidden power, psychological transformation, and intense ego death. Here you learn that true power is not image, it is inner mastery. In the ninth house, Magha seeks legacy through wisdom, teaching, law, philosophy, belief, and guidance. You may want to become the respected voice, the mentor, the authority figure. Just do not confuse wisdom with superiority. In the 10th house, this is classic public achievement energy. Career matters. Position matters. Influence matters. You want to be seen doing meaningful work. You may be made for leadership, management, politics, entrepreneurship, or any path where authority becomes visible. In the 11th house, Magha wants powerful networks, respected circles, and gains through social influence. You may know how to move among strong people. But the question is whether you want real community or just elite access. In the 12th house, the story gets spiritual. You may carry hidden pride, invisible pressure, or a strange inner struggle between significance and surrender. This placement teaches that not every throne is external. Some of your greatest power appears when the ego softens. Now let us talk about planets, because this is where the personality becomes very specific. If your moon is in Magha, your emotional body needs respect. You feel things deeply when your dignity is ignored. You may look composed on the outside but feel hurt when people fail to value you. You need emotional maturity, not emotional ranking. If Mercury is in Magha, your mind thinks in terms of strategy, leadership, branding, status, and influence. You can speak with authority, organize people, and communicate in a way that makes others listen. But watch the habit of sounding condescending. If Mars is in Magha, your drive becomes fierce. You want to lead, win, protect, and command. This is powerful for bold action, entrepreneurship, politics, and crisis leadership. But anger around disrespect can become destructive. If Venus is in Magha, you want beauty with stature. You may be drawn to classy aesthetics, high-value relationships, admiration, romance with prestige, and love that feels elevated. But if image becomes more important than intimacy, you lose the real thing. If the ascendant is in Magha, your whole personality carries royal undertones. People notice your bearing, your pride, your seriousness about identity. Your lesson is humility without shrinking. If Rahu is in Magha, the hunger for power and recognition becomes intense. You may crave influence, title, fame, and elite positioning. This can produce huge rise, but also huge insecurity if your identity depends on validation. If Ketu is in Magha, you may carry old familiarity with status but feel detached from chasing it. You may look important without trying, yet feel oddly disconnected from ambition. Your growth comes from finding meaning beyond image. So if you are young and trying to understand yourself, hear me clearly. Magha energy is not telling you to become arrogant. It is telling you to become worthy. There is a difference. You do not need to act superior to live significantly. You do not need applause to have value. You do not need a title to become powerful. Real Magha growth happens when you stop asking, how do I look important? And start asking, what am I building that deserves respect? That is where your confidence becomes real. That is where your leadership becomes clean. That is where your ambition stops being insecure. That is where your personality stops performing and starts transmitting force. If this energy is in your chart, your life may keep pushing you toward responsibility, visibility, authority, and legacy. You may be tested through ego, family expectation, comparison, pride, or the need to prove yourself. Do not run from that lesson. Refine it, master it. Your power is not in demanding the throne. Your power is in becoming the kind of person who can sit on it without becoming small inside. And that is the deeper truth. Magha is not just about being seen. It is about becoming someone your future self can respect. If you want me to decode your nakshatra, your MBTI pattern, your Enneagram style, your career wiring, your relationship dynamics, and the deeper psychological script running through your chart, get in touch with me for a deep personality reading. I will help you understand not just who you are, but what this life is trying to make of you. Because once you see your pattern clearly, you stop wasting years fighting the wrong battles. You stop confusing ego with destiny, pressure with purpose, and attention with impact. You begin to lead your mind. You begin to understand why you react the way you do, why certain people trigger you, why success feels urgent, and how to turn that urgency into mature direction. That is when your chart stops being theory and starts becoming power.